Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. Today we're paying Bruv's feeder a visit, as shown in the last video, on the edge of a 400-acre woodland. You can just about make it out there, going across the top. Goes in a semicircle around the patch of land that Bruv can shoot on. And neither Bruv nor I are shooting it. It's his friend who's come down, who I was going to call G-Dog for the purposes of this video. But he prefers to be known by the name Grant. That's the feeder, on the edge of the wood. You can see Bruv and Grant getting set up there on the left. I'm having a quick look around. So I am the cameraman after all. I'm not putting any effort in. Let them do all the work. You can see that pop-up hide. That's the one that myself and Bro use. Bruv has one as well. Very useful. That's what Grant's going to sit in. Look down the hedgerow. And myself and Bruv are going to sit in another hide that he just recently bought from the Stoney show. And there you can see him and Grant sat in it, testing it out. Just having a look to see if there's enough room for two people, which seemed to be just about. And there's a picture of Bruv's trail cam. He bought that on eBay. You saw the footage in the last video. Quite a few questions I've had about it. And there's a picture of it from the front. Not sure what the name of it is. That's the only information on the back. So if you want one, have a look. That's looking over the fence. The Bro hasn't got permission to shoot, and you can see that his feeder has caused quite a lot of activity. See the pheasants and other animals making obvious trails to get to all that lovely wheat in Bruv's feeder. Without any more ado, let's have a look at Grant's equipment. His Daystate Mark IV, the Hawk Sidewinder TAC-30 scope on it, the ATN shot track camera, which was put 90 degrees out, rather helpfully by Grant. And if you've noticed the badge, he is not 98 years old today, but he did shoot 98 rats at the poultry farm we shoot on a previous trip down with the Corvid Hunter group. If you don't know already, he'd like you to. And his pellet of choice today is the Acupel FT 8.64 grain, which his Daystate really likes. And as per usual, Grant is wearing some of his more garish socks. He doesn't wear them for good luck. He wears them because he's the manager and he believes they make him important. They're important socks, believe it or not. But enough of Grant's sock foolery. Got the target up. He's taken a few test shots. The zero's been checked. And now we're sat in the hides for real, waiting for squirrels. Grant's in the big two-man pop-up to the left, so he can shoot down the hedge line. So we haven't got permission to shoot over the fence. We just want to draw them onto this side. They bed down in the wood, and they come over here and cause damage. So we're intercepting them very close to where they live. And this one's right at the top of the field. It's out having a forage. Just got to hope it comes down the hedge line and visits the feeder at some point. I'm trying to zoom in. Digital zoom's not that great. Quite a long way away that. We'll zoom in back out now. Might be one for the rimfire if we'd bother to bring that. And this crow. Bruv does do quite a bit of Corvid control on this property. There's a lot around. And this squirrel seems to be making a bit of a leisurely stroll down the hedge line, having a forage as he goes. Maybe a sniff about. Or maybe it's a she, I don't know. You never know what smells these animals can smell. It's having a proper bang down now. They spend an awful lot of time on the ground. A lot more than you think. Quick scratch. A bunch of flea bags these things are. But this is quite useful if they're all going to come down the hedge line. You can see them and get prepared. That was ducked into the wood for some reason. Don't know why it did that. Bit of whispering going on between Bruv and Grant. You know it's there somewhere. There he is. Run a bit, stop, pause, have a look, run a bit more. I think they might be checking the feeder for other squirrels. And he came down for breakfast. Didn't particularly want to battle. It's in the thicket there somewhere. Wrong side of the fence though. There it is. You pretty much know it's on its way. It's paused again to have another look at the terrain. And in it comes, ever closer. It's a little bit difficult to film in this two-man pop-up of Bruv's. Every movement he makes on the chair causes me to wobble a bit. Squirrel's gone round in an arc there. I'm hoping it's going to appear anytime soon. Just zooming out to make sure I can spot it. I'm pretty much using the camera as my visual aid. Where's it gone? There it is. Must have had one last pause and a look. I've told Brad to shoot this when he gets an opportunity, as I will be filming anyway. But obviously he can't shoot if the pellet's going to go through it and over the fence. Needs a straight line of shot or a nice backstop, like that feeder behind it. That's good, it's on that side. And he takes it straight away. The 177 pellets hit it duff. It's dropped to the ground. I was expecting this one to kick a bit. It's pretty much been poleaxed, which does happen sometimes. A woodpecker in the background. I was expecting Grant to let him sit up a few times. As he said to me afterwards, he was tracking it and he was confident in the shot. And you can't argue with the results. Tiny bit of movement off the tail. But all in all, an excellent ending and an excellent shot. Well done, Grant. It's the first squirrel I've had the privilege of seeing taken on this feeder. He did an excellent job of it too. Here's his view. Shot track camera. I've had to turn the footage 90 degrees because he put it on the wrong way, but never mind. This is normally a landscape rather than a portrait type picture. That's the sound of his rifle. Very quiet, with a Simmod silencer on it, or Simmod. There we are, one in the bag. There's more activity up the top of that bank. I'm starting to wonder whether we should have put a feeder up there, but never mind. This is where it is. Another one's been spotted in the woodland there to the left. Must have come across country from inside the wood, I would have guessed. Quite a bit of squirrel activity around. I'm just waiting for it to turn up. It's there somewhere. Maybe it's eyeballing the one on the ground, I don't know. There we are. A few tail flicks. It's gone up the tree. All sort of hoping its main mission here is to get breakfast. But we've seen some funny things done by squirrels in the past. So it's not always a 100% success rate. Could have shot it there if it sat still. Nice camera work by me. That's better. Excellent job. Nice solid bit of wood behind its head. Just got to wait for the shot. There we are. It's a solid hit. And down it went. A few more kicks from this one than the last one, which is normal behaviour from a headshot. See the link to Ted's video in the description explaining why this happens. There's nothing wrong with that shot. Never knew what hit it. The body's shutting down now. They generally bleed out quite a lot from these headshots, as well as the brain damage. They won't be walking that one off. It was a solid shot, and it hit the perfect spot. And that's pretty much all over for Mr. Squirrel. Here's the shot track footage. It's Grant's view of the situation. This time he's let it sit, get into a feeding pattern. No rush here. It's quite a comfortable looking squirrel. That's more like it. Very quiet the day state. Excellent rifle. You still got to know how to shoot. More activity up the bank. Starting to look good now. It's warmed up a bit, and they seem to have responded by going on the move. And that one's having a bit of a panic attack and sprinting off for some reason. It wouldn't be one of our videos if a robin didn't appear at some point. The activity's slowed right down, and everyone's reaching for their coffee, tea, and Bruv's on his vape. As you could hear him sucking away on it. If you wondered what that noise was. Rhubarb and custard or something like that I think he was on. Didn't seem to put them off. And the reason why I got this camera fixed on the feeder is another squirrel there somewhere. Which is quite some time after we had a little break and Bro was sucking on his vape. This squirrel comes in, looks quite agitated. Doesn't like something. The other two didn't seem to be worried by our hide. It's looking at us, it looks like. Or is it looking at the ones on the ground? Or is there something in the woods? Who knows? It's definitely agitated. Tail's having a bit of a fit there. You can't shoot it there. We really could do with it coming on the feeder. Not sure if Grant can see it. We can't shoot and let the pellet leave the grounds, because we'd be breaking the law, and we don't want to do that, do we? Just got to hope this one comes down to the feeder in time. Very often they do. Just got to be patient. What's it going to do? That's more like it. Does look like it's looking at us. I've seen the squirrels on the floor now. If it hadn't seen them before, it definitely had a look then. Gone back into frantic tail flick mode. Pretty much every permission that I go on with Bro, that'd be a tempting shot. But from this angle, that pellet would go straight over the fence onto property we are not authorised to shoot on. So that's not going to happen. We're just going to wait some more. There it is, flapping its tail up in the tree, moving ever so slowly away. And that click, that's a chair moving as we fidget around. There's no click of doom on the day state, it's too quiet for that. And you can see it flicking its tail as it wanders up the hedge line, up the hill. Very disappointing that. The amount of activity we've seen this morning, only 2 down. It's not very good at all. We're back to filming birds. There's a lot of wildlife here. It's a fantastic place to come out into. Quite a few of these birds would lose their eggs to these squirrels. I've got no doubt about that, and sometimes the young as well. Didn't get much of a shot of that one, so I did a still. It's pretty much mid-morning now, 10 o'clock-ish. By now, just about every permission we go on, the songbirds are in force, out feeding. You hear the jay in the background. You've seen them on the trail cams. It's having a bit of a fit, that one. Very noisy birds. The place is pretty much teeming with wildlife. It's a pleasure to be out when you see this sort of stuff. But not so much of a pleasure when you look round and see Grant relieving himself in the hide. It wasn't my hide, luckily enough. But the hide does belong to Bruv. Now he's having a vape to calm himself down. There we go. That's better, isn't it? It's like that condor moment. That's just showing my age, I suppose. Rhubarb and custard smell. We were wrapping up anyway. So here's Grant looking at his kills, That's the first one. Barely movement off that. Interesting to see where he hit that. Right through the front of the head. The angle must have sent the pellet into somewhere pretty good. It's like a buck. Both dropped cleanly on our side of the fence. That one went down a treat as well. Excellent job there, Grant. Well done, mate. Anyway, here's the Simmod or Simmod custom silencer Grant's got on his rifle. I said I'd show you it at the end. And Grant's poked the rifle right out the hide, just to give you a demonstration of just how quiet it is. Very quiet indeed. And 2 on the deck, could have had more. But he's a pretty happy man today. There he is with his kills. And despite the fact he has a horrible taste in socks and headwear, the rifle looks excellent. He did a really good job refinishing that sock himself. It looks gorgeous. Very nice rifle, and well done, Grant. Right, after Bruv, here comes Bro. Bit of archive footage from last year. That's his Air Arms S410. Shooting Webley Power Pals. Sub 12 foot-pound rifle. That's most of them in the UK are. And here he is, one of our permissions. You can see it was December last year. I can already make it a squirrel going down the side of the tree. Bit of a rainy day. That's the squirrel there. And as if by magic, another one appears there. Don't suppose he noticed until this film came out that there was actually 2 on the feeder at the time. It's that white patch of paper. Uses as a zeroing point. I don't know why he's put the camera down there. I think it's an oversight, or maybe he's knocked it. But he's actually reaching for his rifle at this point. He's been using the scope cam. He's going to have to raise the rifle and turn it on. And then locate the squirrel in the crosshairs and wait for the opportune moment to take the shot. And there's the beep. It started recording. And I've left out all the camera work where he's flying all over the place trying to find the squirrel. It'll pop up in a minute. There it is. Just about make out the squirrel. No illuminated reticule on this scope. It's got a draw bead on it. And catch it with a nice shot to the head. There it goes, drops to the ground. Sometimes they come in the half light, very difficult to make them out. Just enough crosshair visible to make the shot good. And good it was. You have another target on the tree. This one's a whole lot more jittery. I'm not sure how long after the last one it was. Maybe it's that second squirrel. Still quite dark. Not sure what he's up to at the moment. He's obviously watching it. As if the camera on station, he's expecting it to come back down for a feed. As always, patience is your ally. On a horrible day like today, it's pretty certain they're going to want to come back for some more peanuts. And there he is, sat on the feeder. The scope cam is on. Again, difficult to pick it up. No point in shooting if you can't see what you're shooting at, but you can make it enough head here. And he drops him clean to the ground. Nothing wrong with that. Another squirrel about to appear on that side, as if by magic. Yeah, another squirrel's on the tree. I wonder if Bro knew that was the case at the time. Again, not long after, you can see still semi-light. There's a squirrel sat on the side of the feeder. And Bro has spotted it. He's getting his rifle ready to take his shot. Only trouble is, unlike the other 2, this one's going to be a lot more difficult to see. This one seems to be sat on the shadowy side of the feeder. And the camera's to the left of Bro. You see that tree just to the right in the foreground. It does obscure his view a little bit. Also plays havoc with the camera's autofocus. He's got the scope cam on, as you heard it beep. I've cut out this bit. It's quite hard to see. I've left it in just to show how much trouble this can be filming and shooting. Here's the scope cam. And not only is the crosshair difficult to make out against the background, it ends up with all sorts of focusing errors where the camera tries to focus on all sorts of different things. Times like this, where the sniper cam would have been perfect. He's jumped off there now. He's missed his opportunity. This squirrel legs it off somewhere else. He doesn't get a shot at this one. Not sure where that one went. I'll spin forward a bit in time. Daylight's well and truly arrived now. He spotted another squirrel, hence the camera being turned on. There's another hole in the hide to the right of him. He's probably seen that one come along the log. Across the floor, as a lot do. This one's made its way across to inspect the dead ones on the floor. No tail flicking, just seems to be curious. There's some spilt stuff. I think Bruv's thrown a few on the floor. Now it's sat up perfectly. You can tell by the fact the camera stopped panning and the beep. He fancies his chances at a shot here. And there it is. Nice and still. I do believe he's chewing on a peanut. Nice shot there. Straight in the head. Not much moving off of that one. A little bit of back leg. That was lights out. Well done, bro. 3 on the deck. A little bit later. He's definitely spotted one coming right this time. He pans round to pick it up. See the silencer in the top right hand corner there. This one's making a beeline for the feeder. Happy days. Starting to look like a good day despite the rain. The rain's not that bad though. There don't seem to be any hurry to come to a feed. This one's having a forage on the way. They often do that. It's quite common behaviour. Run a bit and forage. This one's sat up and looking directly at Bro, which is never a good sign. This one's going to mess about by the look of it. I do hate it when this happens. Very frustrating. It's right with a shotgun. With the air rifle, different kettle of fish altogether. Head movement's far too quick. Not a chance. Is he going for some food now? Or is he just going to mess him about? That's more like it. Immediate panic attack as it jumped onto the tree. Doesn't seem very happy about the corpses on the floor. Definite panic attack then. Get some more elevation. When they're on alert like this, very tempted to take a shot. But this one's not alert enough. Maybe the click of doom would have worked well here. A perfectly good spot to shoot. Or that position. Maybe he's coming to feed now. Moving in the right direction. Much prefer the ones that come galloping in. Go straight to the feeder and sit. Definitely going to mess about by the look of it. You can only watch them when they do this and hope they go to the feeder or present a shot at some point. I don't think Bro's even reached for his rifle yet. It's more like it. Zooming in now. I think he fancies his chances at a shot. Camera's on the scope cam. Just got to pick it up in a scope and shoot it. Very jittery. Unless it can't work out how to get the peanuts out. No, it knows how to do that. That's more like it. It's going to mess about, this one. It doesn't want to sit. How annoying. It disappears off to the right. I'm pretty sure this is the same one coming back. A little bit later on. It's been off foraging up to the right somewhere. Let's have another peanut. This is more like it. This is what we want. Bruv gets caught out by the squirrel movement, and the silenced air rifle affords him a second bite of the cherry. I'll zoom this in just to show you something here. Watch the back of its neck. That literally missed by a hair's breadth. Plucked a bit of fur out, and it ran up the hill, completely unharmed. Probably frightened it after death. It's a shame it wasn't about half an inch lower. Made a good connection. This one comes straight in under the feeder. Sits up to feed, no messing this time. And Bro reaches for the gun. Sounds like his belly grumbling then. Let the scope come on. And he's found him straight away. And the head movement would have caught him out. Bit of patience. No. He's left his camera, the main one, on the tripod in a fixed location now. He scans up the scope cam. Nothing wrong with that. Rather than pan up with the camera to find the squirrel, he brought the squirrel down into the camera shot. Not much movement off that one either. Straight on headshot. 2-2 power pal doing a great job. Not very accurate at the air arms and his Daystate Harry Rex. He does like them a lot. It's all over for squirrel number 4. Bit of bird footage. Don't know much of that today. A few peanuts thrown in that hopper. Dragged them in. There's another squirrel moving around the back of the feeder. Quite a few moving around today. Will you get a shot on this one? Once you've had a few wander around and play you up, it does make you wonder. This one's ignored the peanuts and gone straight up the tree for some reason. I can see you. Very often a good way of detecting a squirrel up a tree. They very often forget to tuck their tail in. This one's taking great interest in the ones on the floor. Doesn't seem unduly upset. He's got to wait till he goes about his business. Unfortunately, this one decides it wants to leg it off that way as well. Maybe that was the other one he shot across the back of his neck. Maybe not, I don't know, but it's disappeared. Didn't want any of it. So on that rather disappointing end note, Bro decides to call it a day and go and pick up his kills. Just a 4 and 1 plucked one. And those top 2 look like adults to me. And those bottom 2 definitely look like youngsters. It's way late, so it must have been a second breeding season for them. So they must have had plenty of food. So 2016 might be quite a bumpy year. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.